After having tested the substance using a direct scan with the Trunarc analyzer 3 times in 3 different locations, each returning an inconclusive result, we are going to utilize the Type H kit. The H kit allows you to analyze a substance that has a high rate of fluorescence, such as heroin, or has a low concentration of the suspect drug in the evidence being tested. Please ensure you are following the latest government, law enforcement bulletins and your local agency's guidelines regarding the handling of fentanyl. You should be protecting yourself by wearing nitrile gloves, safety glasses, goggles, and using an N95 rated mask or air purifying respirator and SCBA respirator if operating in a suspected lab. Do not use black nitrile gloves when using the Trunarc. H-kit sticks do expire, so be cognizant of the expiration date. Your H-kit contains a vial of ethanol that is about a quarter full. It's important to remember that it's only a quarter full because you don't want to overwhelm the ethanol with too much of your sample. 1 scoop is sufficient. Ensure you are using the side of the scoop with the metal substrate. Open the vial of ethanol and set aside momentarily until you are ready to introduce the suspected drug into the ethanol vial using the H-kit scoop. The H-kit stick has a small cup indenture in the end of the stick which includes the metal substrate. Insert the H-kit scoop into the suspected drug and remove 1 scoop of the substance, enough to cover the metal substrate, and add to the vial of ethanol. If it is a pill you are analyzing, you should cut the pill in half, drop it in the ethanol, then use the Type H stick to crush it up and mix into the ethanol solution. If the sample appears to be grainy or chunky, use the Type H stick to further agitate the sample, helping it to dissolve inside the ethanol. The same would hold true for suspected heroin, fentanyl, or other Type H alarm substances. It is very important that you take your time with this testing process because fentanyl analogs, especially a street-level sample like this, can be very low dose, yet still very potent. It may take a while for drug molecules to adhere to the metal substrate. Leave the stick in the ethanol for at least 2 minutes. Do not rush. Ensure you wait the full 2 minutes. Using a stopwatch will assure that you waited the full 2 minutes. After at least 2 minutes, remove the stick and let it air dry for at least another 2 minutes. Do not shake the stick to dry it, as you may shake off the drug molecules. Place the stick down on a flat, sterile surface. You do not want cross-contamination from any other areas. You do not want to scan the Type H stick while it is wet. If you do, you will likely receive an inconclusive result. After at least 2 minutes of air drying, turn the stick back and forth in the light. If you still see a little sheen on the metal, that would suggest it is still wet. Continue to let it air dry until the sample is completely dry. Note, depending on the conditions, it may take longer than 2 minutes for the stick to dry. Now that the sample is completely dry on the H-kit stick, you are ready to scan the sample. Perform a self-check to ensure your Trunarc analyzer's device is working properly. A green screen indicates pass and you are ready to scan your sample. Place the scoop end of the Type H stick against the Trunarc nose cone with the dried substance directly in front of the laser and your finger positioned directly behind it. Hit the scan button twice to initiate the scan. If you receive an inconclusive result, it may be because you did not let it dry long enough. Let the stick dry for 2 more minutes and rescan the H stick. If you are confident that it did dry long enough, you may need more sample on the stick. Scanning black tar heroin requires a few modifications to the procedure during sample extraction. Open the bag or container containing the substance so it can be sampled directly. Using a standard paperclip, unbend and straighten one end. Insert the paperclip straight into the substance and remove by pulling straight out, removing a minimal amount of the sticky substance on the end of the paperclip. Place the end of the paperclip containing the substance into the ethanol vial and stir for 1 to 2 minutes. The substance should dissolve into the ethanol, and you should notice a slight color change to the ethanol. If the color of the solution turns dark like cola or tea, you have oversaturated the solution and may need to use another vial with much less heroin sample. You are now ready to insert the H-kit stick into the vial as we demonstrated previously. The Type H kit was originally developed to test heroin with Trunarc. Over time, we have expanded the capabilities of the Type H kit to also test lower concentrations of certain drugs, low-dose pills, and synthetic cannabinoids on leaf material. Please refer to the Type H alarm section of the Trunarc library for a full listing.